You're watching TVC News. Now, today is World Mental Health Day, an international day for global mental health education, awareness, and advocacy against social stigma. Now, on this day, thousands of supporters and stakeholders around the world come together to draw attention to mental illness and also major effects on people's lives. The day also avails stakeholders working on mental health issues the opportunity to talk about their work and what more needs to be done to make mental health care a reality for people around the world. World Mental Health Day was first celebrated in 1992 at the initiative of the World Federation for Mental Health. The theme of this year's celebration is Make Mental Health for All a Global Priority. That is the crux of our discussion next. And joining us now is the mental health expert, Kunle Pelemo. He joins me now to discuss the objective of World Mental Health Day and its significance to Nigerians. It's nice to have you join me right now, Kunle.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, when we talk about mental health, there seems to be a picture everyone has in his mind when they say someone has a mental challenge here and there. But try to help us clarify this. What constitutes mental health or the lack of it in the first place? Let's know these things before we delve into the deeper and the other aspects of this issue.
Thank you so much. And that is a very, very important question, because when people hear the word mental health, they tend to confuse it for psychiatry or sanity or even mental illnesses. It's more than that. So basically, according to the World Health Organization, mental health is defined as a state of well-being where an individual can achieve his or her potential, can cope with the normal stress of life, and is able to make a contribution to his or her community. So when you are well, when you are fit, 360 degrees, that's what your mental health is talking about. Not only about your sanity. All these things are just like an aspect of mental health, be it mental illness, be it issues about stress, depression, and every other thing that we can mention. The totality of them is what mental health is all about.
All right. Now, can you share with us what are the daily habits or daily activities that could threaten the state of health or mental health of anyone?
Now, one of the issues that I really even want to talk about, and that might be in line with what, the celebration we have every year on this day is all about, is the fact that people need to even be aware of the need to make mental health a priority. Because what you don't know, somehow they say might kill you in one way or the other. So the first thing is for you, one, to be aware of how important mental health is to us. And then some other things are the issues that we face in lives. Remember, in that definition, I mentioned the fact that it's about the ability to cope with the normal stress of life. And stress is not something that we can do without. It comes, in abundance, even considering what the world is going through in a couple of years back now. So these are some of the things that expose us to things that can trigger mental health related issues. But once we are able to identify all those things, the next thing now will be for us to find a way we can cope healthily with them. And that's what is called healthy coping strategy.
All right. This part of the world, people are not very open to going for medical checks. But talk to us basically about mental health, because it looks like if someone says, okay, I'm going for a mental health check, it looks like, okay, something is wrong with you, and things like that. But talk to us from that window. How often should one check and how important that is to anyone?
Exactly. This is very important. And this is where I'm going to speak to everybody who is watching right now. We should normalize conversations about mental health. And that's why in our society, we should create a safe space whereby everybody is free to talk about their mental health without the fear of being stigmatized. Because that's one of the reasons why we have people who want to shun or share, who want to really shy away from talking about their mental health because they feel someone might look at them as someone who is mad or someone who is having, a psychiatric problem. So as much as we talk about physical health, which comprises of diet and exercise, sometimes we are even proud of talking about you having malaria, that you take some drugs or you want to go to see your doctor about your physical health. The time has come for us to openly now and boldly talk about our mental health without any stigma associated with it.
All right. This year's theme, Make Mental Health for All a Global Priority. When it comes to making this a priority, is that theme speaking to government or speaking to individuals like you and I on a daily basis? And how can we make this a priority, really?
Okay, it's on both ends because there must be, on the government side, an organized approach towards making mental health for all a global priority. Because in conversations that I have created and collaborations that I've had in platforms all across the globe, there are common denominators about the gaps in mental health, in every clime. And one of the fact is that, one of them is the fact that mental health is still receiving very, very poor, attention from the government and from every individual. So as it is now, the government has its own role to play. And as an individual, we have to take personal responsibility about our mental health. So the government can create a holistic approach about mental health, how making mental health part of the basic healthcare services should be, inculcated into our healthcare. And somehow, how about policies that will also make mental health thrive in society? There are remote areas that people don't even know about it. How do we get people to those places to talk about it? That's one thing on the side of the government. Then on individual side now, it's now pertinent for every one of us now to talk about our mental health and then to be open enough to see someone who can help us. A professional who can help us anytime we feel our mental health is down. With this, I think we will be able to achieve what this theme is talking about.
All right. We have to leave it here now. Kunle Pelemo, thank you so much for talking to us on TVC.
The pleasure is mine. Thanks for having me.
Right.